Nell, please, for the love of God, don't do just building quizzes. We're sick of seeing you just be bad at naming buildings. You're calling every thin building the W building. Can I tell you, by the way, this is genuinely true? You know how we did, you may not remember. You know how we did that Vancouver quiz of buildings? And there was a really thin building. I called it the W building, and it turned out it was called Hotel Europe. You wouldn't believe it. This weekend, Kate and I ended up in Gastown, against my will, I might add. But we ate at a restaurant that was inside of the Hotel Europe. The whole time I was there, I was like, oh my God, we're in a historical landmark right now that I didn't even know existed. We ate at a Korean restaurant with an amazing lunch special. I give it a thumbs up. I don't remember the name. She picked it. Was I worried about our car? Well, I was parked in Gastown. Yes, I was. But when I tasted the food, I was like, never mind, this goes hard. And our car was fine. Our car was completely fine. Anyway, it looks like a scuffed Flatiron building. Yes, that's correct. Absolutely true. It's just a thin little building. It's just a thin Marty. Anyway, IMDb ratings, TV shows. Can you choose which TV show has the best IMDb rating? I bet I can. Sex in the City, Melrose Place, Desperate Housewives. I'm going to say Sex in the City's number one here. Okay, good start. Xena, Warrior Princess, or Once Upon a Time. I'm going to go Xena, Warrior Princess. Okay, good start. Chicago Hope, ER, or Grey's Anatomy. There's no doubt in my mind that ER is going to be number one. Star Trek Discovery, Andromeda, or Battlestar Galactica. This one's not even going to be close. Battlestar Galactica is going to be number one. Boston Legal, Ally McBeal, or The Practice. No doubt in my mind, Ally McBeal was a cultural force. Never mind, Boston Legal with Chaya McBride. That might be Boston Public now that I think about it. Beverly Hills 90210, Gilmore Girls, or Glee. Not even close. It's going to be Gilmore Girls. Supernatural or Grimm. It's going to be Supernatural. Arrow, Gotham, or Supergirl. I feel like people like Gotham the most. Buffy or The Vampire Diaries is going to be Buffy. We're on a roll now. Angel or Charmed? I'm going Angel. X-Files, 4400, or Terminator, The Sarah Connor Chronicles. This is a tough one. The X-Files is a genuine classic, but it got really, really insane in like the mid-seasons and beyond. 4400, I've never heard of. Sarah Connor Chronicles, I thought people somewhat liked it, but then it was canceled before its time. I'm still going to go X-Files. House of Cards or Fargo? It should be Fargo. But I mean, I don't know if you're allowed to say this anymore, but House of Cards, first couple of seasons still go pretty hard. Not that I've seen them since the Kevin Spacey allegations came out, but Fargo is also an amazing show. CSI or Castle? I'm going to say that people loved Castle because it has Nathan Fillion. Lost or Dexter? That's tough. Two shows that both sort of lost people, but I do feel like, pun intended, I feel like Lost has kind of gotten them back in retrospect, whereas Dexter is still sort of in limbo. Never mind, I'm wrong. Heroes, 24, or Ray Donovan. If my mom's breathless recommendation is anything to go by, Ray Donovan is the best television show of all time. So I'm going Ray Donovan on that one. We did beat the average, but not by much. My mom, she goes crazy for Ray Donovan, man. She tells me about it every time we talk. She's like, have you seen that Ray Donovan show? Okay, you know what? IMDb ratings, TV shows too. Pretty Little Liars or Riverdale? There's no doubt it's Pretty Little Liars. OC, One Tree Hill, Dawson's Creek. Let me Dawson that. Oh, One Tree Hill. Fear the Walking Dead, True Blood, or the Santa Clarita Diet? I'm going to go True Blood. Scandal or How to Get Away with Murder? I'm going to say Scandal because of Tim Robinson's I Think You Should Leave Season 2. The only thing they're going to see on my camera is me drinking too much wine and watching another episode of Scandal. Dylan, that looks good. I should have ordered that. I'm going to eat the whole thing. Oh, all right, wrong. Damages, Major Crimes, or The Good Wife? People don't want to acknowledge this. The Good Wife is actually an incredible show. until some stuff happens with Will, and then it sort of loses it. But apparently it kind of comes back with The Good Fight. And I love Christine Baranski, especially when she played Jeffrey Tambor's wife in Ron Howard's How the Grinch Stole Christmas. But we don't need to go into that right now. That's something I'll talk about with my therapist. But I'm not getting CBS All Access just to watch The Good Fight. I'm sorry to tell you that. But The Good Wife, great show, great show. There's no doubt that's number one. Bones, The Mentalist, or Elementary? People went crazy for Bones. Never mind. They went crazy for The Mentalist. What about The Alienist? I don't watch sci-fi, so I've never seen it. Vikings or American Horror Story? This one's tough. I feel like this is more noteworthy, but people really liked Vikings as well. I feel people were like up and down on American Horror Story, whereas Vikings was like, I've never seen an episode. My impression was that it was above average throughout. Ghost Whisperer or Medium? I refuse to believe that The Ghost Whisperer, starring Jennifer Love Hewitt, is doing better than Medium. Give me Medium on that one. Game of Thrones or The Wire? Don't make me laugh. Orange is the New Black. Oz or Prison Break? Oz is HBO, so it's going to be Oz. The Big C or Weeds? I'm going to go Weeds on that one. Never mind. The Good Doctor, Code Black, or House MD? Bat Chest, House MD. La Casa El Paper or Elite? So I don't know either of these shows, but I do know that both of them show up as Netflix recommendations with hot shirtless guys. And I know that they say that the algorithm feeds you what you're most likely to click on. I embrace that and I accept that. I'm going to say Money Heist. Breaking Bad or The Sopranos? Why don't you just, I haven't seen The Sopranos, but why don't you just ask me to choose which one of my hands you want me to chop off? I think that Breaking Bad is more liked and The Sopranos is more respected. Gossip Girl or 90210? The 90210 reboot. There's no way it's not Gossip Girl. Spartacus or The Walking Dead? Dude, this is a tough one. I gotta feel like anybody typing in The Walking Dead to IMDb is gonna give it like a 9. They're gonna say it's the best show they've ever seen. That's like Googling sex gifs. If you're the kind of person that is gonna look up The Walking Dead on IMDb is about to give it a breathless review. That's just my bias. That's my 2 cents, okay? Wrong. All right. I don't have my finger on the pulse of the populace, although we did beat the average. You know what? This is amazing. Which movie has the best IMDb rating? Which of the Star Treks has the best rating? Star Trek 2009, no doubt. Turbo, A Bug's Life, or Ants? That'll be A Bug's Life. Dark Water, Case 39, or The Eye? I've heard of Dark Water. I've not heard of any of the either ones. No, it's Case 39. Catwoman, Elektra, or Blood Rain? That's tough, man. I feel like it's got to be Blood Rain. No, it's Elektra's. They're all bad, but Elektra is really bad. Catwoman is horrible. Blood Rain is also. They're all bad. Okay, I'm not. This one's easy. Ragnarok has the highest rating. Insidious, Annabelle, or The Nun? Feel like people like the Insidious movies. Edge of Tomorrow, Top Gun 1986, or War of the Worlds? In a just world, this would be Edge of Tomorrow. The Good Boss, The Good Life, or Mad Love? I've never heard of any of these. Let's go The Good Life. Nope, wrong. Bullets Over Broadway, Blue Jasmine, or The Purple Rose of Cairo? It's Blue Jasmine. Little Children, Heavenly Creatures, or The Mountain Between Us? I'm going Little Children. Isn't this the movie from the director who is making that Kate Blanchett movie about the conductor? That looks awesome, even though nothing happens in the trailer at all. Tar. Yeah, that's it. It's probably pronounced different, but Little Children. Okay. Mission Impossible. Oh, this is easy, man. Mission Impossible 2 is a blight on the franchise. Mission Impossible 3 was a return to form with Philip Seymour Hoffman, but Mission Impossible Ghost Protocol, they really hit their stride. Harry Potter and the Deathly Hallows Part 1 is not well liked. Deathly Hallows Part 2 is liked better, but Order of the Phoenix is probably... Never mind. I don't know what I'm talking about. Never seen any of them, to be fair. Okay, what movie has the best IMDb rating? With God as my witness, I think I have 100 in me somewhere. Barbie of Swan Lake. Okay, it's not going to be this one. Barbie in the 12 Dancing Princesses or Barbie as the Island Princess. I'm going to say Barbie of Swan Lake. Nope, 12 Dancing Princesses. Urban Legend, I Know What You Did Last Summer, or Scream 3. I Know What You Did Last Summer loses to all the other Screams, but I think it beats Scream 3. Urban Legend, nobody talks about anymore. Toy Story 4, 3, or 2. God is my witness, I think Toy Story 3. Gladiator, Master and Commander, or Cinderella Man. Russell Crowe movies. Gladiator has to be one of the modes. It is a modal favorite movie for men of my generation. Master and Commander, as we've gotten a little older, as we've gotten a little more patient, as we've slowed down our lives a little bit, this has become a very well-loved movie as well, okay? But I think Gladiator is going to top it. Oh, that's close. Dorkle, thank you for the raid, Mouth. Mouth, we're playing a mouth-themed game. A game you would like. Which movie has the best IMDb rating? Revenge of the Sith, Return of the Jedi, or The Rise of Skywalker? So listen, okay? You're asking me which of these three do I like the most? I'm a noted Return of the Jedi hater. Let's not even talk about The Rise of Skywalker. So I say Revenge of the Sith. However, I think that Return of the Jedi probably is the more well-liked between these, although I bet it's fairly close. Which movie has the best IMDb rating? The Expendables, Commando, or Rambo First Blood Part 2? Expendables is not a good movie. I love the things it's trying to recapture from the 80s. It's not a good movie. Commando is one of the best self-aware, tongue-in-cheek Arnold Schwarzenegger action movies out there. Rambo First Blood Part 2 is kind of ass in proportion to the amount of play that it gets in the culture. So I think this is more well-known and possibly considered more of a classic, but Commando is a better movie. I have to go with my heart. Please excuse my friend, he's dead tired. Bridget Jones's Baby, Bridget Jones's Diary, or Bridget Jones, The Edge of Reason. There's no way it's not the first one. Amelie, Elle, or The Intouchables? Let me go Amelie. Oh. Airport, Earthquake, or 2-Minute Warning? Earthquake. I don't know. Come on. Carrie, The Shining, or Misery? All very well liked. I have to assume that The Shining is going to be number one here. But I think they all have good scores. Ocean's 12, 13, or 8? 13 is the most well-liked Ocean's 11 sequel. Pulp Fiction, Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, or Reservoir Dogs? They're all going to be up there. It's got to be Pulp Fiction, though. They're 75. Better. We're starting to zone in on what the people want. Iron Man 3, Iron Man, or Iron Man 2? Come on. It's Iron Man 1. Interview with the Vampire, Twilight, or Vampire in Brooklyn? Never heard of this one. I got to assume it's Interview with the Vampire. Mask of Zorro, Legend of Zorro, or The Last Samurai? This one's impossible. The Legend of Zorro is not good. But The Mask of Zorro is not only great, people have forgotten how good this movie is, okay? Like, The Mask of Zorro is incredible. Anthony Hopkins, Antonio Banderas, Catherine Zeta-Jones, all at the height of their powers. The Last Samurai is also very well liked. I'm going to go Last Samurai, but I feel like Mask of Zorro, maybe, for me, might be up there. How to Lose a Guy in 10 Days, What Happens in Vegas, or Fool's Gold? Okay, these are all movies that is like, what if we fucked, just kidding, we're married, right? Like, that's the premise of these. This is the only one that we still talk about nearly 20 years later, so I think that it's got to be How to Lose a Guy in 10 Days. Jumanji, Zathura, or Jumanji The Next Level? Jumanji The Next Level is really is fun, but it's got to be Jumanji 1. It's got the Robin Williams effect. Cruel Intentions, The Craft, or Never Been Kissed. This might be controversial. I don't think Cruel Intentions is a good movie, but I do think there's some good parts. So I think this is like a 3 out of 10 movie. I Never Been Kissed, I think, is okay and has been oft parodied. It's made it a little bit into the cultural lexicon, famously parodied in Not Another Teen Movie. I think it's The Craft, though. Goth people still talk about The Craft. They still watch it. They still love Fairuza Balk, who went on to play Vicky Valancourt in The Waterboy. Oh! That was our 100, man. That was our 100. Wonder Woman, Shazam, or Aquaman. These are the 3 passable DC films in the DCEU. This is a tough one. I'll be honest, I haven't seen Shazam. I've seen all of Wonder Woman, and it is decent but uneven. And I've seen half of Aquaman, and I hated every second. And I'm not trying to say that it's unlikable. I just didn't like it. It's unlikable for me. I think I've got to go with my heart. I got to go Wonder Woman on this one. Gone Girl, Fight Club, or Seven. Three great David Fincher films. I'm going to say it's Fight Club because I think it's the IMDb demographic. This is not even close. Listen, the first time and maybe the only time in my life I've ever diverged with the critics, Charlie and the Chocolate Factory 2005. Saw it in theaters, had like a 71 on Rotten Tomatoes. I was, I guess, 17 years old when I saw it. Whole time I was in this, I was like, Tim Burton has to be stopped. I've seen this. I've seen the Willy Wonka, the Gene Wilder one 100 times. Love it. Read the books. Read the Great Glass Elevator where they go to outer space and almost get killed by the vermicious canids. This was the first time in my life where I said somebody's got to get in the editing room and tell Tim Burton no. Somebody's got to stop this guy before he makes like an Alice in Wonderland remake or something like that that's 3.5 hours long and everybody falls asleep halfway through. Okay, so it's obviously Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory. Becoming Jane, Emma, or Pride and Prejudice 2005, Keira Knightley. Let me get Emma. Nope. Friday the 13th, Halloween, Nightmare on Elm Street. I think Halloween, the original Halloween, is the closest of these to art. Batman Forever, Batman and Robin, or Batman Mask of the Phantasm. That's a given. Don't make me laugh. 83. We're getting close. We're getting close. Emma over Pride and Prejudice. Listen, I don't know shit about Jane Austen, okay? Until like a month ago, I thought that she wrote Wuthering Heights. I'm fighting for my damn life here. Marie Antoinette, The Virgin Suicides, or The Bling Ring. Virgin Suicides. Sofia Coppola often gets called a one-hit wonder. She's not a one-hit wonder. She's a two-hit wonder. Lost in Translation, 1A. Virgin Suicides, 1B. Sky High, Speed Racer, or Spy Kids. So Speed Racer came out, was divisive, over time has become well-liked. Spy Kids, I don't know. We're still talking about it 21 years later. Sky High, isn't that the one with Tim Allen? I refuse to pick it on principle. Let me go Spy Kids. Oh! Transformers, Revenge of the Fallen, Dark of the Moon, or Age of Extinction. Okay, Revenge of the Fallen is one of two movies, maybe 3 movies I've ever walked out of in my entire life. So it can't be that. That's the one where Sam Witwicky's mom eats a pot brownie and the colors around her start to melt and stuff like that. Shit is just insulting. It's a film that insults your intelligence. But sequels do tend to get worse over time. But there's no way that they could be worse than Revenge of the Fallen. I don't know. I haven't seen any of them past Revenge of the Fallen. I'm going to assume that it's like the first movie is considered decent, and then the second movie is a all-time low, And then the third movie brings it back to like a 4 out of 10, and the rest slowly cratered down to the level of Revenge of the Fallen. So I'm going to say it's Dark of the Moon. That's just awareness of society. Tangled, Princess and the Frog, Brave. It's going to be Princess. What? Okay, I haven't seen Princess and the Frog, but I thought it, based on how much of Disney cruise infrastructure is based on the Princess and the Frog, I assumed it had to be up there. Gandhi, Amadeus, Silence of the Lambs. Silence of the Lambs, Amadeus second. Spirited Away, best Ghibli film according to IMDb. Resident Evil Apocalypse, Resident Evil Welcome to Raccoon City, Resident Evil Afterlife. So here's the thing. I've only seen a bit of the first Resident Evil movie, and then like a bit of the last Resident Evil movie, which was truly insane to me. And I could, watching the last Resident Evil movie that came out with Mila Jovovich, I could not believe that these were films that were maybe released in theaters. It was like insanity to me that an accomplished filmmaker had made this movie. But anyway, though, here's what's throwing me for a loop here, okay? I'm worried that maybe Resident Evil Welcome to Raccoon City is like a 3D animated one that is like a 5 out of 10, and the other Resident Evil movies, except for the first one, are like ones. So this might be like the Batman one tried to trip us up with the Mask of the Phantasm, but I was too shrewd for that. But then I'm like, is this one like an animated one that came out only in Japanese movie theaters and got like it's like a 5.5 out of 10? No, it's a live action Resident Evil. Okay, then I gotta go with the first Resident Evil sequel, starring Oded Fehr. It had to be. Friends with Benefits, No Strings Attached, What's Your Number? There's absolutely no chance it's What's Your Number. Anna Faris, Chris Evans, Complete Disaster. Now, these are the two movies. I can never remember. One of them's like Natalie Portman, Justin Timberlake. The other one's Ashton Kutcher, Mila Kunis. I think that Friends with Benefits is the good one of the two. Which movie has the best IMDb rating? Murder on the Orient Express 74, Murder on the Orient Express 2017, Evil Under the Sun 82. Okay, here's the thing. I've seen Murder on the Orient Express 2017. It can't be that good because no movie with Josh Gad, except for the original Frozen, could be over a 6. I'm sorry to say. So I gotta go with the original. They paid the Gad tax. Mamma Mia, Moulin Rouge, or Chicago? This is a tough one. Moulin Rouge is probably the most, it's deeper into the culture, but I don't think it's considered as good as either Mamma Mia or Chicago. Now, Chicago, it won Best Picture, but Mamma Mia, is Meryl Streep, it's well-liked, didn't win Best Picture or anything like that, but I gotta go, I think Mamma Mia in the IMDb demographic is just more well-liked than Chicago. Okay, I was way off. Pirates of the Caribbean 2, Pirates of the Caribbean 3, Pirates of the Caribbean 5. I'm going At World's End. Striptease, Coyote Ugly, or Showgirls? Here's the deal. Striptease and Showgirls are considered some of the worst movies ever made. Coyote Ugly is merely pretty bad. We're losing it a little bit. That's what the world was like in 2000. If you weren't there to experience it, I apologize, because I don't think we're ever going back. I think the world underwent a state change. But in the summer of 2000, the hottest movie on the planet, no superheroes, no aliens, no Indiana Joneses, just a bunch of ladies who work at a bar, and get this, they stand on the bar and they go like, and they're serving drinks while they're dancing in their cowboy boots. It was a simpler time, okay? God, I'd give anything to go back, man. Peak society. We used to be a country, a proper country. IMDb ratings, movies released in 1987? Oh my God, we're going to be here all day. Good Morning Vietnam or Moonstruck. Both well liked. I'm going to say Robin Williams stays winning on IMDb. Hope and Glory, Throw Mama from the Train. I'm going to say Danny DeVito stays winning on IMDb. Stakeout or Beverly Hills Cop 2. I'm going to say Eddie Murphy stays winning. Okay, I'm not doing very well. But in my defense, I haven't heard of half of these movies. The half that I'm not choosing. La Bamba or Ironweed. I'm going to say Lou Diamond Phillips stays winning on IMDb. Empire of the Sun. Christian Bale. I've heard of it. I click it. Nuts or Barfly. I'm going Nuts on this one. Babette's Feast or Wall Street. Greed is good. Wrong. Fatal Attraction or The Witches of Eastwick. It's Fatal Attraction. Glenn Close. Roxanne, Outrageous Fortune, or Baby Boom. I'm going to just be honest with you. I don't know half of these movies, okay? I'm just clicking through. Broadcast News is better than Dirty Dancing. That would have hurt me. Lethal Weapon over the Untouchables. What's wrong with me? Full Metal Jacket over the lights. Okay, I gave up a gimme on that one. What was I thinking? But okay, start me like movies released in 1993. We could start there. The Age of Innocence or The Remains of the Day. I wasn't watching this shit. I was 4. Remains of the Day. Daniel Day-Lewis, right? Sure. Okay, that's lucky. Pelican Brief or Schindler's List. We're gonna go with Schindler's List on that one. The Fugitive or The Firm. Should be The Fugitive. House of Cards or What's Love Got to Do with It? I don't know either of them, but this had a Whitney Houston song, so it can't be lower than a 7. Carlito's Way, Farewell My Concubine, or In the Line of Fire. We're going Carlito's Way. That's the only one I do. Much Ado About Nothing, The Night We Never Met, or Three of Hearts. Give me Much Ado About Nothing. Sleepless in Seattle or Benny and June. We're going Sleepless, never mind. Indecent Proposal or Cliffhanger. I feel like Cliffhanger doesn't get enough respect. It's got to be Indecent Proposal because action movies pay a tax, especially one starring Sylvester Stallone. Nope, never mind. Never mind. The Piano or Philadelphia? Give me Philadelphia. Dave, Shortcuts, The Nightmare Before Christmas or The Wedding Banquet. This shit is impossible. Dave, well-liked movie. Kevin Kline. Nightmare Before Christmas, well-liked movie. Shortcuts, well-liked movie. Robert Altman. I don't even know what the hell this is. I'm going Nightmare. Okay, that's tough. What's Eating Gilbert Grape? Leo stays winning on IMDb. Jurassic Park, possibly the only movie that could beat Mrs. Doubtfire. Addams Family Values, Manhattan Murder Mystery, or 6 Degrees of Separation. I'm going to be honest. I hate to click on the Woody Allen movie. I think it should be Addams Family Values, but I'm going Manhattan Murder Mystery. Three Colors Blue is that. What? Klaus Clementine Krasinski Three Colors trilogy lost? In the Name of the Father? It's a banger too. All right, well, fair enough. Blue's the second worst in the trilogy? Bro, there's only 3 movies in the trilogy. Come on. Here, let's put me in like 2001 is the latest, apparently. Hannibal or Planet of the Apes? Hannibal is not great, but it is hilarious when Ray Liotta is forced to eat his own brain. 2001 Tim Burton Planet of the Apes movie is a complete disaster. That's Hannibal. Spirited Away or Fellowship of the Ring is an absolutely impossible question. Both of them are among the most well-loved movies of my generation. I'm gonna go Lord of the Rings. I think Spirited Away is a better movie, but I'm gonna go Lord of the Rings. Enemy at the Gates or Along Came a Spider? Enemy at the Gates is more well-loved by my generation, the IMDb generation. The Fast and Furious, that's the first one, or the first Harry Potter movie, it's first Harry Potter. Monsters, Inc. or Shrek? This is impossible. So Monsters, Inc. is a better movie than Shrek, but Shrek has more cultural staying power than Monsters, Inc. because it was more franchisable. This is tough, man. They're both good, by the way. They're both good. But I would take Monsters, Inc. over Shrek any day of the damn week. I'm going. I should have gone with my gut. Okay, Pearl Harbor is horrendous, and Ocean's 11 is very good. It's like the most likable movie of all time. Show me somebody who would watch Ocean's 11 for the first time and be like, oh, that was a waste of my time. It's I'm not saying it's the best movie ever made, but it's one of the easiest movies to like. Great cast, great music, good pacing. The good guys win, the bad guys lose. It's a classic. Kate and Leopold are Spy Kids. You might not know about Kate and Leopold. So Kate and Leopold, a girl I went to middle school with, was so obsessed with this movie, she had a poster of it in her locker. Hugh Jackman is like an 18th century duke, an 18th century nobleman who somehow gets transported forward in time to present day, which was at the time 2000s era New York, and falls in love with Meg Ryan, I believe, who's always but she just can't seem to find Mr. Right. But turns out Mr. Right is Hugh Jackman as an 18th century nobleman. Should have asked him questions about his politics. I feel like they would have found some division there because he's from 200 years in the past and he's out of touch because he's part of the aristocracy. I feel like she should have asked him some questions about, so just some stuff to figure out what kind of person that he was on the inside, not just he's handsome and he wears nice clothes, okay? Didn't he invent the elevator or something like that? Yeah, something like that. Anyway, it's Spy Kids. What? Moulin Rouge or A Beautiful Mind? I mean, we saw Moulin Rouge win once. It's got to win again. Wrong. In the Bedroom or Iris? In the Bedroom, Tom Wilkinson, Sissy Spacek. Great movie that I've read the Wikipedia synopsis of many times. Iris, it's a Goo Goo Dolls song. Mummy Returns or Jurassic Park 3. This is anathema to the franchise, which is saying something when you got all those Colin Trevorrow movies that just came out. Mummy Returns, also not as good as the original, but certainly better than Jurassic Park 3 or any of the Mummy films that came afterwards. Amelie or Gosford Park. I'm going to go Gosford Park. Robert Altman, Maggie Smith. Wrong. I lost to I didn't even beat the average on this one. This is crazy to me. Okay, Halle Berry movies. I can do this. I can get 100 on this, okay? Introducing Dorothy Dandridge or Bulworth. I can get 90. I can get 89. X-Men, The Last Stand, or Dark Tide. Halle Berry, post Catwoman. Look, X-Men, The Last Stand is not good. But post Monsters Ball, Best Actress win, Halle Berry went through a very bad period of her career where she was in a bunch of garbage, okay? This is part of that period, so I gotta go X-Men. John Wick 3 or Kingsman 2. I am a noted Kingsman 2 defender. I think that movie is not that bad. I don't think it's not even close to as good as the original, but it's not that bad. But John Wick 3 definitely kicks the crap out of it. We're going John Wick 3. Gothica or Bruised? I think some people like Gothica. Wrong, bitch. Monsters Ball or X-Men? I'm going to be straight up with you. I think X-Men has a higher rating than Monsters Ball, and I'm going to double down. I think it deserves to have a higher score, quite frankly. Losing Isaiah or The Rich Man's Wife? Can you just give me the Flintstones movie where she played Fred Flintstone's executive assistant, please? I'm going Losing Isaiah. Moonfall or Cloud Atlas? Well, Moonfall is an amazing movie. I recommend everyone watches it if you're looking for something that's so bad it's good. Cloud Atlas, definitely some questionable choices, but I think is more well-liked. This has got to be one of the lowest scores on IMDb of the year that it came out, which is this year. Perfect Stranger or Swordfish? This is a tough one because Swordfish is not good, but has inspired a lot of great memes. Hugh Jackman as a hacker. We need someone, the best hackers in the world can hack this in 30 minutes. We need someone who can do it in 30 seconds while getting their dick sucked. I gotta go Swordfish. Frankie and Alice or Things We Lost in the Fire? I'm going Things We Lost in the Fire because it's from earlier. The Call or Kidnap? So if I remember correctly, The Call is hated. So Kidnap must be not as hated. That's wrong. Catwoman or The Flintstones? The Flintstones definitely, this has to be the lowest score in her entire career. So it's got to be The Flintstones. Die Another Day or X2? This is a question designed to trip up AI. X2 is one of the best X-Men films. It's fantastic. Die Another Day is one of the worst Bond movies. It's X2 in a heartbeat. Good recovery. Okay, Kate Blanchett versus Kate Winslet. The House with the Clock in Its Walls. or The Dressmaker, starring Kate Winslet. People did not love The House with a Clock in Its Walls, but on the other hand, I've never heard anything about The Dressmaker. So I'm going to go with The Dressmaker. Titanic or Lord of the Rings, The Fellowship of the Ring? We're going Lord of the Rings. A Little Chaos or The Gift, starring Cate Blanchett? Never heard of A Little Chaos. The Gift is not that good, but it does feature a very famous scene with Katie Holmes that I think could elevate it to like a 6.5 on IMDb. Little Children, starring Kate Winslet, or Carol, starring Cate Blanchett? This is a tough one. This is a well-liked movie. It's a well-liked movie. I'm going Carol. Son of a bitch. Sense and Sensibility, starring Kate Winslet, or Elizabeth, starring Cate Blanchett? Sense and Sensibility all day. Babel or Revolutionary Road? I think that they were both not as well liked as they were anticipated, but I remember this being more of a disappointment unless I'm misremembering. I think it's Babel. Heavenly Creatures or The Good German? Heavenly Creatures. Eternal Sunshine or Blue Jasmine? Eternal Sunshine. Snap pick. Ocean's 8 or Hideous Kinky? And I don't think Ocean's 8 is I don't know this movie, for the record, but I don't think Ocean's 8 is hated. I think this is going to be in the high 6s on IMDb, so I'm giving it a chance. Steve Jobs with Kate Winslet or The Aviator? Come on, it's The Aviator. Elizabeth the Golden Age or The Reader? We're going The Reader on this one. Divergent? Is that why Kate Winslet disappeared for a while? She was in the Divergent films? Really? She was in Divergent? I didn't know that. She was the big baddie in Divergent? She's got to fire her agent, man. Anyway, this has got to be Cinderella, right? People hate Divergent. The Divergent series Insurgent. Oh, no, Kate Winslet. What are you doing? Anyway, Bandits. One of my greatest disappointments as a 13-year-old. Cate Blanchett, Bruce Willis, Billy Bob Thornton. This it's stacked, man. How could it go wrong? Bought that shit on DVD, sight unseen, with my allowance money. Came home and it's like a 5 out of 10. It's not horrible, but it's not good. I'd probably give it a pass over Divergent at least, but Notes on a Scandal or Finding Neverland? People like Finding Neverland. Quills or The Curious Case of Benjamin Button? Don't get me started on The Curious Case of Benjamin Button. I know we had the conversation like a month ago about how I can't take this movie seriously because the fundamental premise is simply so unbelievable. I'm unable to suspend my disbelief for the remainder of the 3-hour runtime of the film. Also, when Cate Blanchett kisses Benjamin Button goodbye because he's regressed to the point where he's like a 7-year-old kid, they've been married for like 60 years, it's not that it creeps me out. I just find it too absurd and humorous to take it seriously, I guess, is what I'm trying to say. I think I hate this movie. After bringing it up to chat, my mom came like a month ago, and she wouldn't stop talking about Benjamin Button. She's like, "Have you seen The Curious Case of Benjamin Button?" And I had to tell her that I told her the same thing I told you. I said, I can't take this movie seriously. I hate it. I find its fundamental premise absurd and insulting to begin with. And she was like, well, I liked it. So now this is like the 3rd time I've been talking about Benjamin Button. It's the only movie, the movie's so damn long, the protagonist gets younger, everyone else leaves, and they're like 10 years older. That being said, I do think it was liked by general audiences, so I'm going for it. Charlotte Gray or The Holiday? Okay, so The Holiday, I'm thinking of Four Christmases. But I believe The Holiday is a movie where 2 couples, one of which is played by Kate Winslet and Jack Black, the other one is Vince Vaughn, Isla Fisher. Can I get a cast check on that one? Cameron Diaz and Jude Law. So close. Charlotte Gray, I don't know. But I don't think The Holiday is well liked. So give me Charlotte. Oh, never mind. Dude, we were close, though. We're getting there. Angelina Jolie IMDb ratings. Please, I need to get 100 first, please. Maleficent or Wanted? Wanted is better. Oh, fuck you. Eat shit and die in Minecraft? Are you crazy? Are you insane? Wanted is not bad. Wanted's like a 7. It's stylish. It's a product of its time. Okay, Alexander is horrible. It's got to be Mr. and Mrs. Smith. That's a gimme. Beowulf or Sky Captain. Sky Captain is pretty fun. Also, one of the like least profitable movies or most unprofitable movies ever made. Oh, never mind. Beowulf. My mistake. Playing by Heart or Pushing Tin. Well, I've only heard of this one, so let's go. All right. Changeling or The Good Shepherd. I'm gonna go with The Good Shepherd. Okay. All right. Eternals or Maleficent 5. Eternals, I bet, has a lower rating because it's considered a disappointment. Whereas if you went into Maleficent and had a dog shit time, you were probably like, what do I expect? Here's a 6. By the Sea or Those Who Wish Me Dead. Let's go By this. I'm getting destroyed. Lara Croft Tomb Raider 2, Taking Lives or Original Sin. Well, Tomb Raider 2 is horrendous. I feel like Original Sin is famous for reasons that we don't need to go into. Taking Lives, I sort of remember. I'm going to say that's it. Life or Something Like It or Hackers. This has got to be Hackers. A Mighty Heart or Beyond Borders. Man, Angelina Jolie's been in some shit movies, huh? She's the biggest actress in the world for like 10 years. And her filmography is total dog shit. Like, maybe we're getting whiplash because we're coming at this one straight after like Kate Winslet versus Kate Blanchett, who have both been very discriminating with their roles, with the exception of the Divergent series. But like, holy cow, she's been in like just garbage, just a ton of garbage. I'm gonna say A Mighty Heart. Salt or The Tourist. Salt is horrible, but The Tourist is probably more horrible. Gone in 60 Seconds or the first Tomb Raider. Okay, Gone in 60 Seconds is decent. The Bone Collector or Girl Interrupted. We're going Girl Interrupted. Okay, she's been in a couple good movies, okay? He collects bones. All I remember about The Bone Collector is a scene where the serial killer is like driving a cab and he picks someone up, and then the person that he picks up doesn't know he's the bone collector, except they try to get out of the car, and then they see that the locks on the car have been replaced with like sharpened knives. So they can't grab. This is what you used to do in the 90s. You would like grab the lock and pull it up and then open the door. But they tried to grab the lock, but they can't do it because it's like, maybe it was even a sharpened bone now that I think about it. That would be thematically fitting, but get your bones collected, you piece. I'm not doing the Rachel McAdams quiz. I'll do the Natalie Portman quiz. Song to Song or Jane Got a Gun. I'm going to go Song to Song. I've never heard of either of these movies. My Blueberry Nights or Closer. Okay, Closer is well liked. Mike Leigh directing, Clive Owen, Natalie Portman, Julia Roberts, and Jude Law. There's no way it's not Closer. Mr. Megorium's Wonder Emporium or Garden State. So I'm like, honestly, I straight up like do not think Garden State was one of my favorite movies in high school. I think it's saccharine nonsense. I think it's like if instead of mixing water with the syrup that makes soda, you just drank the syrup. That is what Garden State feels like as an adult who's a little bit more jaded. But Mr. Megorium's Wonder Emporium was not like well liked. It was tolerated, I thought. So I think it's got to be Garden State. Anywhere But Here or Where the Heart Is. I'm going to say Where the Heart Is. Paris Je T'aime or New York I Love You. Here's the thing. Paris Je T'aime, well liked. New York I Love You, hated except as the final track on Sound of Silver. It's Paris Je T'aime. Knight of Cups or Attack of the Clones. So this is crazy because isn't Knight of Cups like a Terrence Malick movie starring Christian Bale, Natalie Portman, but everybody hated it. Star Wars Episode 2 Attack of the Clones is derided as possibly the worst Star Wars movie of all time. But it might still be better than Knight of Cups if Knight of Cups is pretentious and incomprehensible, which to general film audiences are two of the worst sins you could have. So I gotta go Attack of the Clones, and it's a little crazy, but okay. V for Vendetta is going to pass Thor: The Dark World, not even close. Lucy in the Sky was hated. No offense, Noah Hawley. Maybe stick to Fargo. Talentless loser streamer tells director of some of television's most well-loved properties to stay in his lane. With self-awareness, please. With some self-awareness. Black Swan or Jackie? This is going to be Black Swan. Jackie is Mila Kunis. No Strings Attached or Your Highness. Your Highness is pure dog shit. Mars Attacks or Beautiful Girls. I'm going Mars Attacks just because I don't know the other one. Leon the Professional or Annihilation. Now, this is a tough one. Annihilation is very, very well respected. Leon the Professional also has worked its way into the cultural lexicon. Annihilation is also easy to dislike. And I say that because, this is how you know I'm telling the truth. I don't like Annihilation. I love the idea of it. I think I think the conceptual envelope wrapping Annihilation is great. The mystery, the bear, the themes. I did not enjoy watching the movie. And I like Alex Garland's other stuff. Like I love Ex Machina. And probably some other stuff he's done that I can't remember right now. But it seems like a movie that I would like on paper, but I did not enjoy watching it not in the theater, but in my parents' house on pay-per-view. So I'm going to go with Leon the Professional. Brothers or The Other Woman? I don't know either of these. I'm going to go The Other Woman. Hesher, Vox Lux, or Star Wars Episode 3 Revenge of the Sith? Okay, Hesher is Joseph Gordon-Levitt plays like a metalhead. Star Wars Episode 3 is Hayden Christensen plays Darth Vader, and I don't know what Vox Lux is, so I got to go Revenge of the Sith on this one. The Other Bolin Girl or Goya's Ghosts? Let me get The Other Bolin. Okay. Didn't do so well on that one. Spoilers. Sorry, spoilers. Where's my 10-piece? I have confidence on Julia Roberts or Julia Roberts versus Meg Ryan. I don't have confidence on Zoe Saldana. I have less than any confidence on Susan Sarandon. Naomi Watts, maybe there's a chance. I'm only doing this because she was in The Watcher, okay? Netflix top show of the week. The Impossible or Ned Kelly? That's Ned Kelly. Okay, well, good start. Funny Games or The Ring? The Ring beats the remake of Funny Games. Eastern Promises beats J. Edgar. Movie 43 loses to everything. Mulholland Drive beats everything. 3 Generations or You Will Meet a Tall, Dark Stranger? I'm going 3 Gens. I'm moving on to a new one. Catherine Zeta-Jones, she dips beneath the lasers? Entrapment or America's Sweethearts? Okay, I remember this. Entrapment, she dips beneath the lasers. The other one is a movie, John Cusack, Julia Roberts, and Catherine Zeta-Jones. They're trying, an actor in Hollywood has a scandal or something like that. I don't think this movie was well-liked. I think Entrapment is more well-liked. Mask of Zorro versus Chicago. Snap, pick! My pack one, pick one! Are you kidding me? Give me the rebound. I don't even know it. Legend of Zorro or No Reservations? It's No Reservations. Aaron Eckhart, Catherine Zeta-Jones. Aaron Eckhart plays a workaholic chef who's something. They fall in love. Rock of Ages or Lay the Favorite? Never heard of Lay the Favorite. So give me Dom Cruise on that one. Titanic on TV or Blue Juice? Let me go Blue Juice. Titanic on TV. Okay. Intolerable Cruelty or High Fidelity? Intolerable Cruelty is not that good. High Fidelity is a classic. When they hit Tim Robbins in the face with the cash register. By the way, yet another movie that I owned on DVD, but that one did not leave me wanting. I will now sell 5 copies of the 3 EPs by the Beta Band. Which film starring Catherine Zeta-Jones has the best IMDb rating? Red 2 or The Haunting? I don't think Red 2 is well liked, but I think The Haunting is kind of hated. The Terminal or Ocean's 12? Krakosia, Malf, you still here? Krakosia! Eat shit, eat shit. It's definitely The Terminal. Playing for keeps or side effects? Never heard of either of them. Traffic or Broken City? Give me Traffic. Come on, man. Come on. Matt Damon. I can do this one. This is my 100. Matt Damon. I've seen all his movies. I'm such a big fan of his music and his fashion. I can do Matt Damon, okay? Bourne Supremacy or Ocean's 12? It's a gimme. Bourne Supremacy. Bourne stays winning. Promised Land or Suburbicon? I'm going Promised Land. Saved. Elysium or The Martian? It's The Martian. It's not even close. Syriana, The Brothers Grimm, or The Great Wall? Here's the thing. Nobody likes this shit. This shit is... Did he do a movie like in China for money or something? I seem to recall. And Syriana is well liked. Not loved, but well liked. Okay, so that's process of elimination. Bourne Identity stays winning. Talented Mr. Ripley or Bagger Vance? Ripley stays winning. Behind the Candelabra or Green Zone? Behind the Candelabra was a mini-series about Liberace that was beloved. Rounders or School Ties? Rounders is beloved. Ocean's 13 or The Monuments Men? 13 is well-liked. True Grit, Hereafter, or Invictus? This is a tough one for me. I think Invictus could be more well-liked than True Grit, but I think True Grit deserves it. Dogma or All the Pretty Horses? That's a Dogma. Good Will Hunting or Say... This is not fair. You couldn't give me Good Will Hunting against Elysium or something like that? You had to give me Good Will Hunting against Saving Private Ryan? Here's my take, okay? IMDb skews a little more general audiences. They're both beloved films. Saving Private Ryan is a film that, in my opinion, is easier to like. Good Will Hunting is a little quieter, except for when they get in the brawl on the basketball court and they... Like, you know what I mean? The climax of Saving Private Ryan is right at the movie, right at the start, they storm Omaha Beach. The climax of Good Will Hunting is nobody's ever like, hey, check out my Dolby 5.1 digital surround sound setup, and it's Robin Williams and Matt Damon on a park bench. He's saying it's not your fault, and he's like crying his eyes out, you know? So I'm going Saving Private Ryan. I like Good Will Hunting more. But I had to well reason it. Interstellar or Ford versus Ferrari. This shit it's still fucking impossible, okay? Because Interstellar it's a great movie. I like it. It disappointed some people. I still like it. But it's ambitious and it didn't quite get there for everybody, but for some people it got there and that's okay. Ford versus Ferrari is a much more terrestrial movie. It has lower ambitions, but it's extremely well executed. It has a great cast. It's a fun movie to watch. It's like big idea done decently or like small idea done very, very well. So I'm going Interstellar, but I respect Ford versus Ferrari as well. Okay, The Adjustment Bureau versus Contagion. Horrendous film. Good movie. What? No, I'm sorry. Can I get a fact check on that? How is it possible that Contagion has a lower score than The Adjustment Bureau? Contagion is 6.8. The Adjustment Bureau is 7. Isn't The Adjustment Bureau a movie where like weird shit happens and then at the end a door opens up and they're like it was angels the whole time? Or it was aliens that are trying to like maintain the balance of morality on Earth or something like that? Is detritus. Contagion is a good movie. Contagion. I think you might. I think Contagion might have been review bombed by anti-vaxxers. Maybe you're gonna copium me for that, but Contagion is it's a good movie. Says you. Contagion went from being a cautionary tale about what the world could be like if a pandemic happened to an uplifting tale of what could be possible if we as a society in 2022 put our differences aside and banded together in support of the common good. It's evolved as society's evolved. Anyway, so this one annoys me, but Ocean's 11, 100%. It was Stuck on You or We Bought a Zoo. Listen, I got no love for We Bought a Zoo, but Stuck on You is when the Farrelly brothers gave up. This, I can't believe I lost on Contagion versus the Adjustment Bureau. I simply don't believe it. I feel robbed. The Adjustment Bureau of all movies? How's your pulse? Okay, hold on. It's actually lower than it was during React Court. I swear to you. I got to put the heart rate monitor on. Okay, Matt Damon versus Jude Law. Whoever wins, we win. Anna Karenina starring Jude Law or All the Pretty Horses starring Matt Damon. Okay, this is Matt Damon on the ascendancy of his career. This is Jude Law post the nadir. Fuck. Jason Bourne or Existence? I gotta feel like Existence beats the rebooted Bourne. Closer or Hereafter? Closer beats Hereafter. Behind the Candelabra beats I Heart Huckabees, though I'm ashamed to say it. The Holiday beats Monuments Men. The Great Wall versus Fantastic Beasts, The Crimes of Grindelwald. Fantastic Beasts, The Crimes of Grindelwald. Gattaca crushes almost anything on either list. Repo Men versus Elysium. I think Elysium is better than Repo Men. Suburbicon versus Genius. I'm going to take... nobody likes Suburbicon. Julianne Moore, Matt Damon. It's considered a snooze fest. So I'm going to take a lark on a movie I've never heard of. The Adjustment Bureau or My Blueberry Nights? Well, apparently people love The Adjustment Bureau. I didn't realize. Hey, Reddit r/movies. Why does nobody talk about The Adjustment Bureau? I understand the twist at the end was not to everybody's liking, but up until then, I think it's one of the most underrated sci-fi films of the early 2010s, starring Matt Damon. Oh, everyone loves The Adjustment Bureau. People go crazy for The Adjustment Bureau. NL, everyone I've ever talked to loves that movie. Give me Sky Captain loses to Margaret, Cold Mountain, or Good Will Hunting. Come on, that's a Good Will Hunting. The third Bourne movie or Enemy at the Gates. This one's throwing me because I think this is definitely a better movie. I think this is maybe more well remembered for its uniqueness in the modern day. So I'm going Ultimatum, but I feel like Enemy at the Gates might beat it. Martian or AI? That's The Martian. Brothers Grimm or Sherlock Holmes. People like the first Sherlock Holmes movie. Nobody likes the Brothers Grimm. Alfie or We Bought a Zoo. That's tough. Neither of these are that well liked. I'm going We Bought a Zoo. Still pretty good. Robert De Niro versus Dustin Hoffman. I'm sorry, I'm not that old. I can do Matthew McConaughey. Interstellar versus The Free State of Jones. Interstellar. I need my perfect, man. How to Lose a Guy in 10 Days. Failure to Launch or The Wedding Planner. This is before the McConaissance, okay? Wedding Planner, Jennifer Lopez, Matthew McConaughey, 4 out of 10. Failure to Launch, Matthew McConaughey, Sarah Jessica Parker, 3 out of 10. How to Lose a Guy in 10 Days, Matthew McConaughey, Kate Hudson, 6 out of 10. Surfer Dude or The Ghosts of Girlfriends Past. I need to read green lights, man. It's hard for me to not pick this because I've heard of it. Contact or The Wolf of Wall Street is good. Both good movies. Give me The Wolf of Wall Street. Dark Tower or Serenity. Okay, so I don't think this is not the Serenity based on the Neil Gaiman property. Okay, this is Serenity where Matthew McConaughey and Anne Hathaway are like in a troubled relationship, but everybody hates the Dark Tower. What? It's one of the least liked movie, one of the biggest disappointments of all time. Two for the Money or Sahara. I saw Sahara in theaters. It's not that bad. Never mind, it sucks. It's the worst movie I've ever seen. Any horror movie that has The Next Generation in its subtitle stands no chance. Give me A Time to Kill, Bernie or Mud. Bernie's a good movie, but people really like Mud. I know that. Lincoln Lawyer was well liked. It spawned a TV show. People love the Dallas Buyers Club. Magic Mike or Fool's Gold. People love Magic Mike. Killer Joe or The Paperboy. Give me Killer Joe. Gold or White Boy Rick. Give me White Boy Rick. Never mind. Still, 77. I thought we could do better than that. Brad Pitt IMDb ratings. Can I get a 10% here? Or a 100% here? A 10 out of 10 here? Please. I've been working on this for like an hour and a half.
Hello, I'm back.
Hello. How you doing?
Good. What you doing?
I'm doing Sporcle quizzes. All right, you ready, Kate?
Okay.
Which IMDb movie, or which movie from Brad Pitt has a higher score on IMDb?
Oh, I think I got it.
Inglourious Bastards or Once Upon a Time in Hollywood?
Inglourious Bastards.
She's got it. Moneyball, Ad Astra, or Mr. and Mrs. Smith?
Moneyball.
She's goated. Fight Club or The Curious Case of Benjamin Button?
It gotta be Fight Club.
She's killing it. Burn After Reading or Babel?
Oh my god, I don't even know both.
You want me to take this one?
Can I guess?
Yes.
I say Burn After Reading.
I think you're on the right track. Oh, what?
Oh.
These quizzes are, I've been robbed so many times. There's no way if you polled the average American, they're going to say Babel is better than Burn After Reading. The Lost City, Snatch, or Troy?
That's a hard one. It gotta be Snatch?
I confirm. The Counselor or The Mexican?
Oh my god, I don't know any of that movie.
Here's what I'll tell you. I have not seen or heard of The Counselor, but The Mexican is not a good movie.
Then it gotta be The Counselor, right? Oh my god.
Thelma and Louise or 12 Monkeys?
How has this man been 1,000 movies? I don't know, man.
12 Monkeys is one of the...
I was 3 when that
It's
movie
one of the
came
best sci-fi movies of the 90s. We're going with that one. Allied or By the Sea?
Holy moly, now this is out of my head. I thought that was it, honestly.
The Devil's Own,
Still going.
The Tree of Life, or The Big Short?
It got 1997.
I got to go with The Big Short on that one.
Oh.
Ocean's 11 or Meet Joe Black?
Ocean's 11.
Guaranteed. 12 Years a Slave or 7?
Oh, that's a hard one. Gotta be 7.
I agree. 7 Years in Tibet, Killing Them Softly, or Sleepers?
Resident Sleepers?
I think it's Killing Them Soft.
Oh!
The Favor, California, or Interview with a Vampire?
What a hell is the interview?
What the hell?
What a hell? He took 2 movies in 1 year?
Oh, he's had an illustrious
That's
career.
1994. That's 3 movies in 1 year.
World War Z or Legends of the Fall?
World War Z.
You were nailing it at the start, though.
I couldn't believe this guy's been living for 100 years and took 1,000 movies.
I can do Arnold